Make great things happen with Malt Tonic.
Malt Tonic is enriched with vitamins and minerals for that rush of vitality you need to reach greatness.
It's Malt Tonic time.
Good morning. Welcome to Educate TV. This morning, my name is Dr. Mrs. Van. I'll be leading us through the conversation today. And we're going to look at how we can improve standard and quality of education in Nigeria through policies and regulations. And this morning with me for this discussion is Mrs. Olubumi Abosede Adewako. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. She's doing so much. She's a co-founder of System Bridge, and also she's a lead consultant for Fun Time Impression.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Mrs. Adewako is a licensed coach. She's a certified mentor and career counselor. She's an early child expert. She's an author. She's also a trained administrator and a global trainer. Mrs. Adewako, you're welcome once again. And I just want to chip something in that improving the standard and quality of education in Nigeria requires a comprehensive approach that includes, for example, formulations and implementation of effective policies and regulations. Yes. And I know that in this part of the world, in Nigeria, I'm so sorry to say this, policies are laid down, regulations are laid down, but implementation has always been the problem we've been facing over the years.
Exactly.
So we're going to go through this and see how we can, school owners can leverage on this to ensure that we maintain the standard and the quality of education that are comparable to global standards. Okay, so that's what we're going to discuss today. You're welcome. So we'll start off. What is the existing policies and regulations in Nigeria today regarding education, and how effective are they in improving the standard and quality of education? Are there policies? If there are policies, are they effective? Are they implemented? Is there follow-up? Is there monitoring and all that? Because I know that the standard of education for about 3 decades has been in shambles and it's been nothing to write home about. So are there policies in Nigeria?
Thank you so much, Dr. Van. Once again, it's a pleasure to be here, and I want to say thank you so much for inviting me here today. Yes, policies. This part of the world, Nigeria is a case study. We always have things in paper. What we do is have our stuff in paper. But when it comes to level of implementation, it's zero. It's not, oftentimes it's not implemented. Of course, we have policies. We have policies in this country. And if you look at the educational policy, it has gone through phases over time. What we have right now, the last revised edition was in 2013, where you had they had some other additions like that, like the establishment of the TRCN, and more outlook on numeracy. An adult should be literate, and also the area of numeracy, then the ICT, and having education where everyone we have access to at least a basic education, like the 933 there about. It's called the 9 years of education, where you have 6 years in this primary, 3 years in the junior secondary, and 3 years in the other, at least the basic. That's the basic education. But when you look at it, do an overview of all of this, it has not really worked. I was discussing with someone yesterday, and I told the person that when we went to school, it's a different ball game to what we have now. I tell my children it's a different ball game. You see graduates. I'm opportune to interview graduates, to recruit graduates for schools, teachers for schools. When you see the application letter, you are in tears. You are in tears, and you look at them. Look at it. This is a graduate that went to school, spent 4 years in the university, can't construct a sentence.
Normal form.
Yes, they can't even form exactly.
They make mistakes.
Lot of mistakes. You see them putting caps and capital letters, small letters in between, and you're looking at it and know what happened. These are the things that we were taught properly. So it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot right now. Where we have right now in the educational sector in this country, it's a whole lot. The policies we have in place are obsolete, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
The curriculum, outdated. So we need a revamp. We need a total revamp. Like you're pulling everything down and building, setting up a new structure entirely. And where we are looking at it, you know, I've done like not a research in code, because if I say research, that means I probably carried out the test, the data.
Yeah.
But I've looked at, in my own small way, I've looked at it that the people that are formulating our policies are not educators.
I was just going to go to that. I was just going to ask, when you put the wrong peg, a square peg in the round hole, what do you... I don't want to go into that. I heard somebody that is almost, have served about 8 years, saying that he didn't know anything about education. I was supposed to be a minister in education. Is it even actually the policies, or is it appointment of people in various positions of authority in the ministries, whether it's even education or some other sector?
Yes.
Okay? Is it even that we should even be looking at first before looking at the regulations that are put out? Because if I'm a medical doctor and you place me in the position of Minister of Education, I don't know what I'm going to be doing there. Is it giving injections, or is it prescribing drugs?
Drugs, exactly.
And I think it all starts from the leadership.
Yes. Doc, you really, that's a very vital point you have raised. It's not, let's leave the policies first.
Exactly.
Let's leave the curriculum. Let's leave the regulation. Let's appoint the right people. The right people first. People that are, when you look at their foundation or their background, it's education. They know what we are talking about. Not just because we want to satisfy somebody's needs, we want to appease somebody's ego or whatever. You put the wrong set of people in the educational sector. That is why we have all this problem that we are having right now. That's why we have right from the primary school to the secondary school to the university. How can a graduate finish from school, graduated, and you will see degrees, first class, second class upper, second class lower, whatever.
They're quick to give first class to these students.
Exactly. They can't write an application letter. They can't write even what they are saying. There's a young man. I don't know whether you've come across the young man. He's a YouTuber. He goes to universities, especially in the East.
Okay.
He goes all over, but I think he resides in the East. So he goes to universities, and when they have their matriculation, he'll just come up with one name, one word like that, and we ask them, what is this word?
Okay, yes. They don't even know NYSC.
Yes.
I've watched one of the videos.
In fact, yes, he goes when they are passing out doing their POP. And you know, fine, it's funny, but it's not funny at the same time.
At all.
It's funny, but it's not funny at the same time, because you see them straight A's. You see their WAEC results, straight A's, whatever they're getting. But you know, so it's a whole lot. So we need, like I said, we need the right people first. For education to be standardized in this country, we need to go back to basics, back to our roots. The right people. We need the right people, to put the right people in the educational sector. People that know what it's all about. They know the problems that we are facing.
Yeah.
They know where we were before and where we are now. We ought to be, it's supposed to be a progressive thing.
Yeah.
Today we're talking about Finland education. Today we're talking about the Singaporean education.
UK, American.
Yeah.
Everybody's having all that.
Yes.
School.
You want to put all the
10
curriculum. We want to put all the curriculum. Why don't you have our own curriculum?
And develop it.
And
enforce it.
Yes. And enforce it.
And implement,
enforce, yes. Follow it back to back. And that will go back to our colleges of education.
Yeah.
That will go back to our Department of Education and university. So when the teachers we are training now are teachers that have gone through the training, right from the very beginning. They've gone through the training. So when they are coming out, we can beat our chest that they can fit anywhere.
Exactly.
Not just just come to the tertiary institution to come and get a degree, and that's all. Some teachers don't even know what some graduate teachers, they don't know what policy of education is all about. They don't even know what it's all about. They don't know what this policy, because they're not taught the way it should be taught. So I think we need to have the right people first. Now, when we have the right people, in the educational sector, we can now begin to talk about policies.
Okay, thank you so much. I think that is very, very paramount. The right people in these positions who know what quality and standard of education is, and not people that don't even have any idea
about it.
So what are the key areas of improvement in the current education system in Nigeria that need to be addressed through policies and regulations? Are they the key?
First and foremost, teacher training.
Teachers training.
Yes, professionalism.
Okay.
Fine, thank God for TRCN. But all I just see that teachers go and write the examination. I wrote the examination too. I got a B+. You understand? I didn't say anybody that got A, but I got a B+. You understand, Doc? So, but there's something is much more than that. Is much more than that. So, professional development, capacity building for teachers, very, very important. And I said, I'm opportunity. I teach online. I teach students, you know, some even students from outside the country. I have an academy, not mine, but a friend that I lecture there. You know, and I told the set I taught about 2 sets ago. I told them, I said we need to have finishing schools for teachers.
Yeah.
We need to have finishing schools
for this country.
Yes, we need to have finishing schools because there's what we call etiquette.
Yeah.
But teaching etiquette, teachers need to know it because they don't know so many things about that thing. So all that thing will be embedded in teachers training. It has to be there. We need to have a new curriculum entirely for teachers, for teachers that are going to colleges of education, the university, faculty of education. We need it. And even the lecturers too, they need to upgrade themselves.
Exactly.
Not come and
money.
We know Maslow. Thank you for Maslow. But bring Maslow to the 21st century. We know Bloom taxonomy. Bring it to the 21st century. Let us understand. Let the teacher let them be able to know what Maslow theory, okay, of needs, hierarchy of needs will do for us now. The learners, the students they are going to teach, even for them as teachers. Because I tell teachers, what you don't have, you can't give.
No, it's not possible.
You're not a magician. You're not a miracle worker. That's why we have so many failures here and there in schools. You have so many failures here and there in schools. Why? Because they don't have that proper training. They don't have that proper training. So it's very, very important. And the government is the one that can push this.
Yeah.
Because it's huge, Doc. It's a huge project. It's massive.
I know.
I know the private sector, private schools are doing, but the government have to carry this on their shoulders.
Okay, viewers, thank you for watching. Please stay tuned. Don't move away. We'll be back.
Gather around. So guys, what we're basically doing today is to search for the tastiest biscuits ever on the playground. Are you guys ready? Yeah! The search starts in 3, 2, 1. Let's go!
Sona biscuits are rich in flavor, nourishment, and excitement for kids of all ages. Grab a bite today.
Welcome back. We are still talking on improving standard and quality of education in Nigeria through policies and regulations. And of course, still with me is Mrs. Olubumi Abosede Adewaku. Thank you. At what point did we lose it? In the last 3 decades. At what point? Because most of our schools were well equipped and we were tutored, we were trained, we were taught with all that were necessary for us to be taught with. So what happened along the line? What happened? Why did it get to this? I mean, how did we get to this point where you cannot even see any school management maintaining the infrastructures, for example, that have been given to them maybe from the federal government and all that, and these infrastructures are obsolete. And I have, like you said, I interview also, and I have students saying they never saw a microscope. A science student from first year to final year never saw a microscope because there is none. Because there is no lab that is equipped.
Exactly.
Because reagents are expired and they cannot replace. So you do experiments, you don't get the right thing.
Exactly.
So at what point did we lose it, and why? Why did we lose it? I'm just curious about how. At times I sit down and I think and I say, wait, how did we lose this?
Thank you so much, Doc. You know, when government, I think it started when the government began to turn the other eye towards education, funding of education.
Okay.
Because when you look at countries, these countries that we mentioned,
Yeah.
when you look at the educational funding for the educational sector is huge.
Yeah.
But go check our own budget.
It's almost the least.
The list, exactly, Doc. Exactly. But they've forgotten. You know, sometimes it's my heart. It pains me so much that when you fund education, when you fund the educational sector of your country, you are developing your country.
Of course.
You are developing your country. Doc, when I was in my year one University of Ilorin, we had exchange program students.
Exactly.
They came from UK, they came from America, and ours went to their country.
Yeah.
We don't have exchange programs again.
We went to some people went to France anyway.
Yes.
Some people went to French-speaking African countries like Togo and all that,
Togo, yes.
and spent some months and all that.
Exactly.
Those things were. I'm even talking of secondary school because I went to a federal school, so funny, good enough. And those things were in place, and we enjoyed that, and that is why I'm so bothered and worried about the future of the children, our youths in this country. You know, they don't even know. There's a whole lot they don't even know. And I don't blame people that send their children outside this country to go and study, because that is where they get the hands-on of whatever they are studying.
Everything. When COVID happened, everything. That's where, in fact, I think COVID opened us up.
That is where Yoruba will say, Ashiri Watu.
Yes, Ashiri Watu.
Thank God
COVID opened us up, because that's where we knew that, in fact, we are far behind when it comes to this technology of everything. What happens? Look at Nigeria. Look at where we are. Is it that we don't have the resources? Doc, we have much more than we can even think of. You can imagine. We have the resources.
Of course.
We have the resources. What our public schools can be fully ICT equipped.
Of course.
Nothing stopped them from being. But the existing infrastructure, what are they doing to it? The other day, university, because I'm not going to mention one of the universities in the southwest, they showed the hostel. I was watching the hostel, dilapidated, and the master students hostel. Nothing to write home about. What happened? What happened?
They don't even know that the environment contributes to.
Exactly. We talk about environment when it comes to learning. Environment must be welcoming.
Yes,
must be conducive for learning. So is it the people that are not thinking of that? Are they the ones that remember that the labs need to be upgraded, and so it goes back to our government.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what steps can be taken to align the curriculum? You know, the other time we were talking about different curricula, Finland, UK, these French and all that. Okay,
Chinese
curriculum. Exactly.
Okay, learning Chinese language in Nigeria.
Can you imagine? So, what steps can be taken to align the curriculum with global standards, and also to ensure it meets needs of the 21st century workforce? You know, it meets the need of 21st century workforce. Thank God, I also do recruitment.
Okay.
And we see that these things are not just working.
Yes.
When they come for interviews, you don't see it. You don't see these things. So what steps can we take? What steps can we take to align this curriculum to meet global standards?
Thank you so much once again, Doctor. Like I said, we need to get the right people on board. We need to get the right people on board. We need to have, I don't know if I should call it a committee or whatever. The other time that we needed to do, we had delegates. I don't know what they wanted to do then back then. They had people come around. They call it whether a conference or something. But we need to get the right people on board. Our government our leaders know, they know the right, it's not they don't know the right thing to do. They know the people they can reach out to. So we need to get the right people on board. People that will come up with plans first. Because we need like we're starting from the foundation. Yeah. So they'll put plans. Okay, this is it. This is like an advisory body.
Okay.
Yes, an advisory body. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. An advisory body. Then when we have the body in place, then we now look for people, if they're going to still recruit from those people that would. What's the plan that being played? They begin to make policies. Now let's have policies. Let's have curriculum. Okay, this is it. Throw this one out. Throw that one out. This hasn't worked. This hasn't worked. This is obsolete. Okay, what's happening in other country? What can we look at? And we bring it. Not that we're going to copy what they are doing. Not that we're going to use what but we look it to suit our own environment here. You understand? And by the time they begin to then we need to strengthen our like I said, the colleges of education. Put the right policies in place for the colleges of education, the right curriculum, so that meets the international standard, so that every teacher leaving the any college of education or leaving the university, the faculty of education, will be a global teacher. It won't be that they are meant for Nigeria alone. They can teach anywhere. So you have a global perspective. The advisory body must bring up policies or whatever plans that must be of a global perspective. The 21st century. We all know today any teacher that is not tech savvy is no teacher.
Yeah, sure.
Any teacher that is not tech savvy is no teacher, because the children we are teaching are digital natives.
And they all know these things.
Yeah, they're digital natives. Same yesterday I was talking to a particular teacher, and he was telling me that the students in the grade that's GS1, but they use grade that should be grade 9 or so, or grade 7. GS1, grade 7. When King Charles was having his coronation, the girl dissected the history of King Charles, everything. She's 12 years old, but she knows the history. But she doesn't know the history of my country. But she knows the history of King Charles, everything, the monarchy and everything. So, what I'm trying to say, where I'm going with that is that these children are digital natives. So we also must upgrade ourselves. So we need to upgrade our teachers for us to really, really meet up with the world. Or else we will still be doing things the old ways.
Yeah. No, now you just touched this. Upgrading teachers and all that for them to meet the standards globally. So how can teacher training and professional development programs be enhanced to improve the quality of teaching in Nigeria? How can we enhance that? Because just hang on. Okay. We used to go to schools to train teachers, and this is what I used to hear. They would say, I don't want to waste my money, because if I train them, they will run away, they will leave my school and use the certificate to get a better job. And we're not making headway because school owners refuse to pay or allow the teachers to go for this development and training that will enhance their teaching and all that. And this is what you find almost everywhere. Okay, this way also just private schools. But let's come to government schools. The federal government, the government schools. How can they enhance the output of teachers through training and other development that they need for them to actually teach? Can they do that? In terms of finances, because nobody wants to spend money to train teachers and all that. What is it that they can do for them? Is it that they can share the cost? Because that is always the fear. Can they share the cost with teachers and then develop them?
Private schools do that, Doc. Private school owners do that. They share the cost with the teachers, because what you don't pay for, you can't value it.
Exactly. That's another thing. Yes.
What you don't pay for, you can't value it. You can't value it.
That's true.
So how long will government spoon feed public school teachers? For how long? Let them also have that ownership mentality. That is, whatever certificate they get, that they have a part to play in it. They have a part to play in it. Doc, you know very well that private schools, if training is 10,000 naira, you drop 5,000 naira, your school will drop 5,000 naira.
Yes, and then you have a number of years to stay with them before you can give another job.
That's just it. So if accountability is like that, these public school teachers, they will sit up. Because when you even look at some public school teachers, not all, but some of them they're laid back.
Yeah.
They are laid back. But it's the government, they will deduct it right from the source. You're going for this training. You enforce it. Enforcement is that's the only thing that get to work.
They should also try it after the training. They should write a report, and they should also train others.
I was even coming to that. You write the report, then you do the train the trainers.
Yeah, exactly.
So as government is recruiting younger professionals,
yes,
you will be the one. You'll be attached.
Training
that's
and
accountability. Yes,
yeah.
and that also we must that also will be tied to your promotion.
Exactly.
You see that everybody will sit up.
Okay, thank you, viewers. We have come to the end of today's conversation on improving standard and quality of education in Nigeria through policies and regulations. And I've been here with Mrs. Olubumi Abosede Adewako, looking at these issues as it pertains to education. I want to say once again that Mrs. Adewako is a co-founder of System Bridge, and she's also a lead consultant for Fountain Impression. Thank you so much, Mrs. Adewako, for your time and the insightful discussions we had, and we hope that this will go to the various bodies so that educational sector will have a facelift, so that the standard can be improved. Thank you so much for watching, and I ask that you sit back always to watch for all editions. We're having several editions, and we will be back. Thank you. This is Educate TV. My name is Dr. Mrs. Van. Thank you for watching.